day everyone. I, Mastrado Marcairo, together with Benedict Marshall, we are assigned to discuss about the contributions of Arabs, Chinese, and Hindus in the development of science and technology. 1. Arabic civilization originated in the Arabian Peninsula, Saudi Arabia in 622 AD. Arabic is the written spoken language of the Arabs. At present, there are 22 Arabic-speaking countries: Algeria, Bahrain, Comoro Islands, Djibouti, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Mauritania, Morocco, Oman, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Syria, Tunisia, UAE, and Yemen. The religion Islam means submission to the will of God. God Allah conveyed to Muhammad a Tradesman, a series of revelations which were to form the basis of the new faith. Science, technology, and development. First, trigonometry. Sin tangent, cotangent. IBN Moses work sa al Jab wal Mukabala. The calculation of integration and equation presented 800 examples in the 8th century CE. Next, astronomy. Invented an instrument used to observe stars called astrolabe. Next, architecture. Built before the Great Mosque of Damascus. Next, water wheel and water irrigation. Next, algebra and geometry. Muhammad bin Musa al-Khwarizmi is considered to be one of the founders of algebra. The word algorithm or algorithm is corruption of his name or the name of the town Khwarizm, Hiva, in what is now Uzbekistan, where he was. In addition to introducing the Arabic numerals, he developed several arithmetical procedures. Physics and chemistry. Kamaluddin examined the refraction of sunlight in raindrops and offered an explanation of the genesis of primary and secondary rainbows. Harun al-Rashid was associated with the story of the invention of the pendulum in the presentation of a water clock to Emperor Charlemagne. Next, science of mechanics. Mosa bin Shakir described 100 pieces of mechanical equipment in his book of artifices. Next, camera obscura. In the field of optics, this was invented by Ibn Haytham in 1038 CE. Next, theory of relativity. Qadi Abu Bakr developed the theory of relativity in the 8th century CE in terms of time and space by means of mathematical equation and astrophysics. Paper making. This was one of the earliest skills attained by the Muslims. As early as the 8th century CE, high-quality paper was being manufactured in Samarkand. Egypt was known to have its first paper mill in the year 900 CE. Next is advances in industry. Muslims were leading in weaving wool, producing silk pottery, jewelry, and in leather and perfume industry.
Second is Chinese civilization. Ancient China was built along the two main rivers, the first Yellow River or Wanghe in the north, and the later the Yangtze in the south. China is one of the oldest civilizations and the world's most populous country in Asia, with a population of over 1.35 billion. Science, technology, and development of Chinese civilization. Various forms of sciences such as astronomy, physics, chemistry, meteorology, seismology have originated from China. Chinese contributions to science and technology. Paper and Chinese calligraphy began writing about 1500 BC. Place value number system. Decimal or base 10 system was first developed by the Chinese. The first recorded observation of comets, solar eclipses were done in China. Invented kites and lanterns. Next is magnetic compass. The compass was a wooden circle with the markings on it. and a magnet spoon on top used for religious purposes. The next is fireworks. Ginagamit nila ito kapag may mga palabas at kinalaunan ay ginamit nila ito upang gawing panakot sa mga kalaban sa panahon ng digmaan. Next is fans. Karamihan na gumagamit ito ay ang mga kababaihan at sundalo. Paper and printing, gunpowders, wheelbarrows. Ginagamit sa China mula pa noong sinaunang panahon noong Han Dynasty. Kites were first invented in China during Zhou Dynasty. Seismological detectors. Zhang Zheng invented the earthquake detecting tool called seismoscope. Next is the seed drill. Seed drills were used by farmers to plant seeds into the soil at uniform depth. Next is iron plow. This was one of the major developments in ancient Chinese agriculture. It was the first developed in 4th century BC. Porcelain. This is made of special white clay which has a lot of kaolin in it. Next is silk. Silk was made from the cocoons of silkworms. Other inventions included umbrella, iron casting, hot air balloon, matches, and stirrups for riding horses. The third is Indus-Hindu civilization. Early civilization in India emerged in river valleys. The valleys of the Indus River supported a flourishing civilization that extended hundreds of miles from the Himalayas to the coast of the Arabian Sea. Science and technology development of Indus-Hindu civilization. Two of the major cities were Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. At its height, Harappa had 35,000 inhabitants and Mohenjo-daro had perhaps 35,000 to 40,000 inhabitants. Both cities were planned carefully. Most buildings were constructed of mud bricks baked in oven and were square shaped, forming a grid pattern. Evidence showed that Indus Valley civilization have public wells provided with regular supply of water for all the inhabitants and sanitation. All houses had their own private toilet, which was connected to a covered sewer network constructed on brickwork held together with gypsum-based mortar that emptied the surrounding or into the cesspit. Also, evident was the presence of the public and private bath, sewage, and sophisticated water management system. In 500 AD, Aryabhata presented astronomical and mathematical system that took the Earth to spin on its axis and considered the motion of the planets with respect to the Sun heliocentric or elliptical. He also propounded the heliocentric theory of gravitation, thus predating Copernicus by almost 1,000 years. He also made an accurate approximation of the Earth's circumference and diameter, and also discovered how lunar eclipse and solar eclipse happened for the first time. Brahmagupta, 598 to 668, was the head of the Astronomical Observatory of Yuchan. Estimated in the 7th century that the circumference of the Earth was 5,000 yohanas, or the estimated of 36,000 km, which comes quite close to the actual circumference known today. He had said about gravity that bodies fall toward the Earth as it is in the nature of the Earth to attract bodies, just as it is in the nature of water to flow. In 1984, Rakesh Sharma became the first Indian to go to outer space. The Hindus use a system of 27 or 28 nakshatras or lunar constellations to calculate a month. Each month can be divided into 30 lunar or tithis. or days. There are usually 360 or 366 days in a year. The Hantras Mantar or in Jaipur is actually one of the six major observatories built by the Maharaja. The one in Jaipur not only follows the movements of the sun and the moon to help determine auspicious dates of the events, it also helps the map of the position of the stars in the sky.